Hello everyone, I just want to show you a quick tutorial on how I did my grid transfer on our summertime block. So yeah, I'm just going to show you two pieces of paper. First, I printed off this design from pearlygates.com. I just Google image searched and I found this pretty little lamb. So yeah, so this is what I printed out, and I'm going to find the center of my design, which is already on the center of my paper. So I'm just finding the center of my paper here. Yeah, if I were you, I would find the center of your design if it's not on your paper in the center. But either way, as long as you mark it exactly on here as you do on your project, it'll all work out, which I'll explain here in just a second. But right here, I just marked the center of my paper, and I'm just going to draw a line, and this is where I'm going to start drawing my grid. And here I'm just going to go over an inch. And I'm pretty much just going to make a grid in this direction, and then I'm going to do the same in the opposite direction, and I'll show you that as soon as I'm done doing my vertical lines. Once again, I'm stuck doing a voiceover. Couldn't find no quiet time. It's busy right now. We have homecoming coming up for the kids and lots of stuff going on. So there's lots of running around and laundry, and you know how that goes. So yeah, now I'm just sitting out in my car doing a voiceover. But okay, now see, I turned my work sideways. I am going to find the center of my paper again, which if you're doing your design, you find the center of your design. And I'll just mark a couple spots here, and then I will start my grid in the opposite direction. And if some of these designs are more detailed and you think it's going to be a little bit difficult, instead of doing an inch, maybe do a half an inch, and even if you have to do smaller, a quarter of an inch, you know, your grid, so it's a little simpler. By all means, yeah, you don't have to do inch grid. And this one I'm just doing an inch. I think it might just be quicker, hopefully, for video time, that is. Now we're going to pretend this piece of paper is our fabric, or what we want our design to be on. And I'm going to do the same exact thing to it. Finding the center, just like I did on the other one, because we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to put our lamb design on this piece of fabric or paper that I'm using. Up in here, I'm just marking it the same exact way, and then I'm going to make my grid on here. And just remember, it has to be the same exact as your design that you already put your grid on the other piece of paper. And we'll fast forward a little bit here. And now you have your fabric ready. Let's erase this little mark right here if I can. Yeah, good enough. I'm not going to get too precise, considering this is just for show. Okay, so what you're going to do is take your design, and I'm going to cut mine vertically. I like doing it vertically. It works best for me. You can try both ways if you want. Instead of cutting straight up, maybe cut sideways. That may work better for you. So yep, cut right through your image, all the way on those lines that you previously marked. And be sure to keep them in order. You don't want to get them mixed up, especially if it's a very complex design, and if you're doing like 1/4 of an inch strips, you know, that might be a little difficult. You may even have to number them so you make sure that, you know, you have them in order. So there's the 2. And you'll keep going. Let's fast forward. I've already cut all my strips, as you see here. It comes apart. I'm going to move those out of the way. I'm trying to find my center here. Then I'm going to figure out where my center is on my paper, or fabric, I guess you should say. Or I should say. I think it's going to be right here. It's going to be my center. So I'm going to take my center piece and lay it where I want it. Okay. So this one is what is going to be drawn here. I'm going to move it over, leaving my design where it's at. If this works for you, you can more than welcome to do it this way. You can see what you need to draw. So you're just going to kind of eyeball it and connect the lines. See how that works? And mine is not perfect. I'm not tracing, so this is kind of my own drawing in a way. All I'm doing is just eyeballing it and drawing it in. I move that one out of the way, I'm done with it. Now this one, I want to put here, and this is what works for me. I just move it over one. And I kind of eyeball where it is on the grid. And I do my version of it. And you can already tell, you know, my bump right there, that last one I drew is kind of off. It's not exactly the same. If I was wanting to be, see, I'm kind of trying to fix it a little. If I was wanting to be extremely exact, I would definitely take a little more time to try a little bit harder, concentrate a little bit better. But just for video's sake, I'm just trying to, you know, do it real quick to kind of show you how I do it. Also, I'm using a normal pen right now because it's paper, but you would definitely be using your marking fabric marker, like a water soluble or whatnot, on your on your design where you I cannot talk. You want to use your fabric marking tool that you can get rid of with water or with your iron, or, you know, because you want to get rid of these marks that you put on your fabric. There, that wasn't so hard. And as you can tell, I sped it up a little bit. And how I'm moving it over and moving it back to kind of eyeball where it should be. You know, we all have our own way, you know, of kind of doing this also. I'm sure there's another way, and this is how I did mine. And I noticed I got his foot off a little bit here. See, I'm double checking it. Yeah, I'm way off. So that's what's nice about those marking pens and such that come off. You know, you don't have to worry about making these marks like that. And that's even kind of off. You can tell it's like way off. But that's alright. Since I'm not actually going to be quilting this and stitching on it, I'm not too worried. It's just for show, right? So yeah, hopefully this tutorial kind of explains well enough how I do my grid transfer. It's a little more intensive than tool transfers, I think, but sometimes designs are just so detailed you can't do the tool you know, you have to kind of either use a light box to trace it or something like this. And this is what works for me for certain things. I haven't done this technique since I was little, so I was staring at my block that I was trying to make, our summertime block, and I thought, man, I should have marked that before I did all this quilting, because now my batting, 2 layers of batting and everything, how am I going to mark it? And I thought, oh, I could do the grid transfer, so yep, it works. So I hope you learned something, and I hope you try it too. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, pearlygates.com. That's where I got my image. Thanks for watching.